3, 2, 1. Hello! This is Northstar here with a special, somewhat spooky episode of a game I don't think any of you who haven't followed me on Twitch have seen me play before. This is Popup Dungeon. Now, I am in the midst of the space campaign, but this is a rather spooky chapter in it. I'm entering a haunted nebula. It would have been nice to have gotten this out on time for Halloween. Unfortunately, life didn't allow that. I wasn't able to really figure out all this returning to streaming stuff. It's been a while since I've seen it in time for that. Things were happening in real life, but here we are. And while it may not be Halloween, it's not that much further after it. What, a couple weeks? And this is the Haunted Nebula in Popup Dungeon. If you can hear the creepy music, that should set the theme. The nebula reaches tendrils towards the adjutant, possibly drawn in by the artificial gravity. It scatters into aimless wisps as the ship passes. Suddenly, the clouds draw open and reveal a gleaming hole, suspended in the dust. And this is name roll. Despite incredible amounts of overtraining of my crew,
Slinging guy,
meant to right click, not
To
left.
launch my career.
834% aim, and this is still roll an 8 or higher.
Time to put my training to the test. I'm good.
Roll well, Ricky.
The legend continues.
The hull bears no designation, but its configuration matches a Veridine-class expeditionary cruiser that the consortium reported lost in the system over 200 years ago. There are no life forms present within the ship, but we are picking up movement. The molecule of Dural is somewhere inside that hole. The exact location keeps shifting. Too spooky. I believe this should be spooky. Ooh, let's crank up the shields and give it a shot. Luckily, powered up my shields to a high degree before this.
I'm gonna be captain someday.
Again, roll well, Ricky.
Can I wear a different color shirt now?
As the fire clears, Nebula shifts back in to cradle the Veridine cruiser's hull, which remains visibly unaffected. It appears brute force is not the answer. I believe if I try and leave at this point, I'll be unable to get away. But I've never done it before, either. And let's give it a shot. Ship flies motionless and silent as you maneuver in for docking, not knowing whether or not life support is still functioning. You suit up and approach the airlock. There are no power readings, but the Verdine's cargo door opens as you near. For those of you who caught the difficulty level, I have massively overleveled this crew. Even though difficulty scales, it usually doesn't scale as fast as you level up, which is nice, I suppose. I never liked games where you couldn't actually, training was useless. Maybe even harmful.
Test.
Well, that's a Star Trek reference. 1970s. Or maybe this is supposed to occur around 2130. Take it however you will. Just to believe it's a Star Trek reference. Well, guess I'm going the other way. It's technically all undead.
Where is my hat?
Now, most of these types are considered undead, and therefore vulnerable to light or fire. I should say spectral, skeletal, they're all technically undead subtypes. Or, well, not.
Effort is the magic of man.
The game handles that, but most of them are vulnerable to light or fire, which are usually
Used to all this darkness.
good damage types to take in the campaigns for those of you who are newer to this. Indeed, a fire mage is one of the better presets that you start with, although these are all custom characters. Not one of them is unchanged. Although they're all
Oh, gee.
based on ones you get, except
Customer's always right.
the Forge Cleric. He's unrecognizable compared to an Earth Mage.
You're not gonna like this. Anyone want to buy a gun?
Ow.
They're fully loaded.
Time to exceed expectations.
I'm just a merchant, honest.
Even the smithy rolled ahead of them. He's normally so far back in the turn order he never gets to go. So I usually end these fights quick. The way the difficulty was offset, I probably could turn this up to Galaxy Brain and had a real fight in my hands. But on Grandmaster, this is going to be easy.
These elven eyes have seen much suffering.
Now, one thing I could do, just for note, is if I use this a couple times on X, I could bump him up in the turn order before Reiki. Just something to note about how game mechanics work. or bump Ricky before James. Not that that'd be useful. James has a power up I want to give Ricky. Ricky has one I want to give X. I've often preferred this turn order when I can get it. This is actually as close to optimal as I've ever seen. Even my holographic companion gets to go before the NPC is on the other side. Some abilities I picked up from the
Good.
simulator.
Doesn't mean you don't die. For the white tree.
I don't know if any of you can hear, that's a plane flying real low.
By the
You seem to
light
get more and
of
more of
the
those
dawn.
these days. Not near a major airport. Not that close at all. Dozens of miles out, they just don't seem to care about anything but
Eternal
probably maximizing profits. Low glide slope is probably more fuel efficient, I suppose, too.
feel the light course through your mortal veins.
She can do not terrible damage. Surprisingly.
Feel free to die. I'll resurrect you.
Most of her damage from this ability is damage over time, but that would actually be enough to really cause some harm.
Call upon your light.
The elements do my bidding. This will aid you.
These are custom power-ups I designed. Many of them do scaling damage to self to be more powerful, although I could have set a fixed amount. Would have been worse when I was first starting the campaign, and better now. Probably should have done that, but whatever. Since I was making a run, this campaign has been in large part about trying to deal with the Sage. If I play this long enough, you'll see what I'm talking about.
Our dragon's breath.
Yeah, mundane won't help you against magic ghost. This may not be light, but it's still enough.
What should the path lead to? By the flames of Beldus.
Hope I make a good first impression.
Jump jets everyone has, that's from upgrade of the ship. The third level version of that upgrade. You get them earlier, but they get better. Additionally, they start off with lowered back defense, for instance. They can explode on you. And they have levitate ability, which can help moving over gaps in terrain. At some point too, you see the wings that indicates they have levitate. It's a pretty good ability. Yeah, it's worth knowing. Darkness not gonna be effective against almost any of these. Undead usually have high resistance to that. Because I can just jump over them and hit the rear ranks.
This is gonna look great on my resume.
Now abilities like this buffs, they scale with support ability, and if they're not limited to self only, like a few of them are, then they're
I'm Ensign Ricky, for commendation purposes.
not any stronger in self due to high support, but they are in others. Some that are set to self only, for instance, this scales a little bit, I've seen with support on Brock because it's a self only buff. I guess it's assumed, even if it can be used on self buffs like this, are meant mainly for others. I don't know if it's an oversight or intentional. Probably intentional.
YOLO! Gotcha. Feel my potential. Ouch!
Interesting interpretation indeed.
One small step. This is what I trained for. Taste the training.
This character was originally equipped with a laser rifle instead of a pistol that carried this ability and had better buffs of stats, but eventually he switched him out to a copy of X's dual blasters for his primary weapon, so he could get this, which doesn't have a use cap like the laser shot does. Things that have use caps generally hit harder, but of course you can only use them so many times. Oh, that might be an upgrade. Nope. Would have had to have one more quality level to be better. Also, if you have conditionals, like this does, you have to deal 500 damage for each use of it. Things also hit harder.
I am totally a veteran now.
It's worth noting that was a pretty hard threshold to hit early on, but I actually got from the simulator. Couldn't have even made that at the beginning with how little damage I dealt.
So this is the fat loot everyone was telling me about. More
Nope,
firepower.
not that fat. Very 70s-esque with the patterns and kind of obnoxious patterns, honestly. using is actually a boss level version. You know, bosses, you only encounter one enemy, but they are much tougher. They have a higher power level. It's actually a boss on one of the floors of the Wizard's Dungeon. Wizard's Tower. It's a reference to Ghostbusters, except it's a gummy bear instead of the Cream Puff Man or whatever. Can essentially freeze members of your team in place while taunting them, so if they don't have range abilities, they can't do anything. Fear others off. And then deal damage when it gets close, even though it's low, it has low mobility. Closes in, wipes them out. Also reduces cover and reflexes so that members of your team, reflexes aren't actually relevant here, but reducing cover makes it hard for them to not suffer massive damage. It's actually pretty tough in the Wizard's Tower. There's no possibility of leveling up, of grinding like I've done.
Long have I watched man. Where is my hat?
Who needs saving?
Actually, speaking of reflexes, this thing has pretty bad reflexes.
There is a storm.
And he has Dragon's Breath.
Right.
Only one use, but this might be a good time for that use.
The darkness will not rise.
Let's see. Shape of that ability. He'd have to back up another tile.
The elements do my bidding. Ow!
Still, I do a lot of damage to them.
I'm gonna be captain someday. Ooh, hope I make a good first impression.
Put him there, so
Ow! I will wear the shirt.
there's some other buffs. The shortest ranger, range 3, can reach him. And, you can wipe out these 3, probably. He's by far my most powerful character. So,
Looking to unload some guns.
focused a lot of the level ups on him. For good reason. He's tough as nails.
Time for some explosive action. All right, it's my turn now.
Let's get to the point.
That's what I'm doing. I can range others' backs on a higher difficulty. Spectre
I'm
can
not used to all this darkness.
appear behind party members and instant kill them at a high chance via this ability. If it survives the first round to do it, and it can even jump over them. So can't have them, their backs need to be covered. I should be able to one-turn it probably anyways, but it's actually a pretty nasty ability, especially because Gouliet is considered a mortal character, meaning if she dies, I lose her for the rest of the campaign. Balances out a pretty high power level somewhat.
Preventative medicine.
Still, as tough as Ricky is, James can do a number on him too.
Damage.
James the fire adept, that's right, that's what I call him. back.
Go too far.
The other way.
Let me help you.
She didn't have a crow eye on Cyberkey, so she couldn't cast that.
Help me help you.
He actually needs that because the Skelly Bellies have very high cover. Now his aim is much higher and he should be able to power through that no problem.
For the white tree.
That is a massive increase to his power rating.
There is a storm on the horizon. You want me to pull a rabbit out of well?
I love that line. If you catch all, he says you want me to pull a rabbit out of that. Whoa. Okay, yeah, this is damage over time. That's why I'm like, should be hitting harder. Yeah, it'll kill him after one turn.
I wonder if I'm lost.
Ooh. One nice thing of area effect bellies is you can get around taunt with them. As long as they hit the thing that's taunting you, you can hit other members of that team too. Despite very high resistance, he actually lost a decent amount of mobility, which is one of the advantages of abilities doing way more than they need to. Like this does 1437 before resistance, but even 88 is not nothing. That's it's got his mobility down to, it's one of my more mobile characters, to 247. Been buffing their mobility speed. Was like high 300s before or something, or actually low 300s. Still a lot. Of course, I kill this character. I'll remove that debuff.
Barliness, I invite you.
Entirely. Here's his mobility back.
Flames consume you.
He wouldn't normally do this damage, but I did just massively increase his power ratings earlier. So, James is an absolute powerhouse with all those buffs from Jane. Wouldn't have been able, even if I'd used Fan the Flames earlier to kill the gummy bear, I wouldn't have been able to do any more with him. Still, 3 enemies, 1 turn. That's incredible.
Probably get a medal for this. It's an honor to serve. This is what I trained for. Taste the training.
If only you knew what was at stake here.
Let's honor the dead by putting their... I will sanctify it with my touch.
He's a wizard after all. Smart Dispel means I don't need to worry about upgrading. Her giving, she started with the Holy Soap and it rolls more often because it was her starting item. If I switch to a Tiny Coffin, she can actually resurrect enemies I've killed, so I can use them in future turns. as raise. The raise ability brings back a kill enemy under your control, and it's not time limit either. It's for the rest of the battle.
The legend continues. Oh, I had one of those in a holograph adventure once. Is that what I think it is?
This ability is more of a keep away,
Knowledge
possibly
is
useful
power.
against the Sage.
That's not bad either.
I'm not even sure he can hit hard enough to push him back one. Still, worth upgrading a
Could
little.
use a new. There is a rich lore to this item. I'll keep it safe. There is a rich lore to this item.
This ability I took more to increase X's mobility than to actually deal damage. The damage doesn't hurt either. And a higher rank has to have enough power. Both like that, they scale with obviously the power of the element type, but they also scale with mobility. I think that one with support, if it's not high enough, it can fail. So if he suffered massive debuffs or something.
Looking for this. So this is the fat loot everyone was telling me about. I'm looking for this. I could use a new staff to lean upon.
Rock's probably the one that
Knowledge
can even
is power. That's not bad either.
survive a direct attack from the Sage. The Sage is insanely tough.
Possible if I could maybe have that. Oh, is that what I think it is?
I'll upgrade this just because of Blunderbuss. I think there's some multiplicative effects of power ratings. I've never been sure if it just adds the other, like, oh, this is mundane fire, mundane plus fire, and that's the power applies. If they multiply somehow, in which case the negative power rating for mundane would really hurt the effectiveness of that ability. And then also positional power, like if an enemy moves directly towards them, it'll use its front power. If an enemy is just moving to the side ahead of them, you might get hit out their flank, which he also has upgraded. Chimazine is the one? Roll nat 20. Slightly harder fight might make this more interesting for you guys. Forgot to hit. Oh no, I did. know if this may not actually have updated in time, or it might. We'll see. If the fight's incredibly hard, you guys will know why.
Time to exceed
A boss in Galaxy Brain, that's not easy.
expectations.
It's actually 3 enemies, but with boss power levels. That might actually not be the easiest to kill. Good thing is, check out those evasion stats. Even the zombie is like dancing from foot to foot, moving at the speed of light.
Effort is the magic of man.
Ouch!
It's actually gonna be hard to do any
These
damage.
elven eyes have seen much suffering.
Luckily, evasion scales in a way something like 200% is only a 1/9 better than 100 or something. Yeah, or no, a third better. So the first level reduced income damage by a third. The next reduces. No, I think it reduces the mating fraction by another third, so actually keeps taking thirds off for each 100. Yeah, it's gonna be a tough fight.
Oh, I'm gonna be captain
The
someday.
elements do not decay.
I will wear the shirt.
So that James can just step aside and Ricky can have a go at it.
I hate this part. Customer's always right. Or dead. Anyone want to buy a gun? They're fully loaded. No. I'm just a merchant, honest.
Yeah, what am I
Looking to
doing?
unload some guns. Oh gee, what slinging guns?
I go over there and take shots at the ghost. Assuming I can even kill stuff that quick.
Time for some explosive action.
And I'll have to try and get back there and take that skeleton belly out before it can do anything. Now, Ricky does have this, which is a redo of Tana belly that Ricky the Ensign has. This build. Range of 5. Which might manage to taunt the zombie with its resistance. Might not have any effect at all. It's also got defenses and other fun stuff. So, if taunted, the zombie won't be attacking Ricky until it's taken him down. This can be used to essentially throw enemies over the ghost's back, move them out of the way. With its armor penetration, this is probably a kill for most of the party. 70 positional. He's got awful back defense, so I do want him to face this way. If it throws him, of course, then it can come and hit him in the back, but what'll it be done there?
By the Forge's rust. What rust?
Nope. Oh, I was gonna have X move there. That's right.
Make and break. By the arms to the beard.
The X can kind of do a thing where he jumps back. We'll see if it becomes relevant.
There is a storm on the horizon.
Doesn't do much damage up front. You can see. Definitely a time for power-ups. Maybe Ricky will hit better.
A little magic. I wield the elements in your frame.
And one of the things is that added flame damage works better if the character has some power of flame. I didn't think it was meant to, but it does. Ricky does have some flame power because some of his abilities do a little bit of fire damage. Taking note, those percentages appear to cap at 100%, but they can still have excess power that's hidden, so that they actually get closer to that through enemy defenses. This is turning into more of a tutorial on the game mechanics than I thought, but oh well. I'd be chipping away at this spell for a little.
Our dragon's breath.
This saves an action point and you can go again. May not be a ship at all. This is one of his hardest hitting abilities, and I can't even take him down. That's a reference to the Hearts of Iron multiplayer game I've had going on.
You are but kindling to the fire.
As far back as I can.
Smell, you know.
This is one of the two characters who can resurrect others, the other being Jane.
The darkness will not rise. Preventative medicine.
Don't want to do too much overkill and they're being diminishing returns. X has a lot less power, really. His abilities start at a lower base action point cost, so they're less hard hitting.
You don't die.
I'm more worried about X not being able to take out his target. Never can be able to take out the zombie. It's already hurt, and even though it does come back to full health the first time it gets reduced, then that ability on cooldown off to killing him before it's off.
Feel the light course through your mortal veins. Hashtag blessed. May the white tree watch over you.
Can't give this ability when Already is the jetpack activated? Because they can only have 10 abilities at a time. So Ricky, he had an empty slot just for that purpose, I think. Plus he isn't active. Nope, it's just because he hasn't got his jetpack yet.
Eternal dawn, call upon your light.
Ricky is a good target for that. He has a self-heal it'll boost. Plus this'll bring him back. Captain's Courage. Some self-healing. Oh yeah, because the ghost, that's all I have to intern next to it. For most characters are gonna face the ghost head on, but X can jump back so that he won't be scared to death. This has some healing over time. Could turn out to be useful for Ricky.
Time to exceed expectations.
You better, buddy.
Engaging.
Huh? Managed to do enough damage to it to one turn it. Here, to finish it. If it hadn't already been damaged, it would not have done the job.
Probably get a medal for this. This is gonna look great on my resume. YOLO.
Sure, that'll be enough for X to kill that ghost. Is he just gonna walk all the way there? Huh. Guess I shouldn't be too surprised. It's got incredible mobility.
Now's my chance. Gotcha.
You can see from the gold drops, this is an incredibly high difficulty level. If the party wasn't overtrained, they'd be dead meat. 43% chance of killing outright.
Taste the training.
Of course, that's before that ability kicks in. Not dead yet.
Blam.
I'll finish it off. Cool, double tap.
I am totally a veteran now.
You may have noticed he took damage. I believe that ghost had some damage reflect, just not enough to get through his shield. In excess of his life siphon, which cancels out part of it actually.
Nice contraband.
That's a self-heal I load him up with for good reason. And soon. See that red outline on the exit level? I mean, somewhere in here. Aha! There's a power-up. This is a magical vending machine.
Would it be possible if I could maybe have that?
And this gets me incredibly powerful rolls because the quality and such is based on what they already have rather than a table based on chance and difficulty, and seems to cap out.
Hey, it's my birthday.
More firepower.
So it's not a huge upgrade, but it's an
Please offer
upgrade.
me, please.
Costs a ton of gold. But I have so much,
I'm looking for this.
doesn't matter.
I could use a new staff to lean upon.
Oh, I had one of those in a...
Indulge me.
Let me put some mileage on that and I'll sell it to a Centurion.
Cool. Should have given him this. Oh, that would have crowded out other abilities. Could have put him in someone else's items, I suppose. Sometimes worth doing. Now he's sticking with the original build.
Can I wear a different color shirt now?
More firepower.
Yeah, that ghost did some damage. It must have had over 260%. I know that's damage of flat. His life siphon is a 213, so it only needed damage of flat over that.
So this is the fat loot everyone was telling me about. I'm looking for this. So this is the more firepower.
Because Ricky's got a taunt. Having taunt on a character with high damage or foot can force them to attack something that'll hurt them a lot. It's useful on occasion. In desperate situations, especially. Which, believe it or not, the Sage battle will be. You know, when you see the power level, especially if I stand Galaxy Brain, the Sage, it's off the charts.
Time to put my training to the test. Blam! Should have paid more attention in medical class.
Ooh, did not make it. Ascension 124. This is not going to be an easy fight.
I will wear the shirt.
Isn't math beautiful? I'm an exponent of battle.
Back in the saddle. Hey, what are we grilling?
I give you a few seconds to hide.
These have no armor penetration, so they're not as tough as they may seem, although massive damage to the arcing overload will make it rough. I don't want to get hit with that. And shield, so it's more of a tank than anything else. These things are tough. They have high evasion for their power level. And armor pen. even dodges besides his high evasion. Key thing is this high armor pen makes this actually the hardest hitting of all the enemies. The F5 Mercuries. I never failed that roll before. I didn't realize it sticks you in space and gives you a fight with a higher difficulty offset at the most.
Long have I...
Huh, bad reflexes.
watched map.
Bad against magical. Awful back defense, poor against magical. Huh, well, if I can catch these in Dragon's Breath, I might manage to do something to the F5 Mercuries. You dodge right based on the way you're facing, so this will go nowhere. And this will try and, yeah, neither of them will actually go anywhere.
These elven eyes have seen much suffering.
Ow!
It's time for a defensive formation.
Time to put my training to the test. Oh, hope I make a good first impression.
Well, somewhat defensive.
Oh. I'm just a merchant, honest.
No, you're not, buddy. You're a gun smuggler.
Let's make this quick.
Finest armor in the land.
This job is mainly to get in the way, so enemies can't just come down the center here. Trying to protect Goya a little. Although, he won't really get in the way with them hitting so hard. Nope. Let's put him over there. Him over here.
Make and break.
So that if they close on him, they have to go out of their way to do it.
By the arms to the beard.
Goya back there.
Let's get to the point.
The darkness will not rise.
If you're itching for a tougher fight,
Let me show
this is
you
it.
how to do some real damage.
It's worth noting this thing has pretty tough shields. And an amazing front defense.
For the white tree. Feel the light course through your mortal veins. Help me help you. Feel the light course through your mortal veins. Eternal dawn, I call upon your light.
Do not want them killing James under any circumstance. Because he's The few characters I have we can resurrect.
Come with me if you want to live. Feel free to die. I'll resurrect you.
He's likely to get targeted because he's got a taunt.
Tread lightly.
She's got good front defense, okay. So I do want her to
I go where I am needed.
face this way.
Effort is the magic of man.
If I can kill one of them before they get their shields up, in much better shape.
I move with the wind. Let's risk a little magic.
This one has the toughest shields of all. You can see if it's considered front, it deals substantial less damage. I want to get out of Brock's way. Boom. Oh. Oh. Yeah, that's a reactive. Oh no. Oh, it must not have rolled a very high shield effect. If it was like 1,000, 10,000, I would have been in trouble.
Nine! This is impossible!
Impossible. Just hard.
By dragon's breath.
You are disturbing my calculation. More potential energy.
Yep, I probably should have used Dragon's Breath on them. Seems even basically reminding me. Oh well.
This is delicate. Entropy is natural.
Maybe in a emergency.
Time to exceed expectations.
Need to use one on himself.
This is what I trained for.
So much. I will make a lovely Nebula.
No, it's just these guys. He's doing better against them than I thought.
Feel my potential.
Goodness gracious.
There's 5.
Some smell good.
There's 5 of them, and the power levels split up too much for them to be too much of a danger, I suppose.
Engaging.
Hickory smoked. Wait, is that me?
Yeah, that's you, buddy.
Stand over here.
Ooh, that'll leave rodeo's over, I suppose.
Ooh, this is. I'm good.
They're all meat. Well, rodeo's over.
It was unwise to stand against them.
A nice contraband.
Doesn't have enough haste to make full use of an emergency tank.
Hey, it's my birthday.
Characters have really incredible haste. Lots of abilities they can pick from that are offensive. Hero only has 2 core, the blaster shot and double shot. And a few others that are more desperate like this. It'd be
Name your
worth
price.
getting the extra action points so that you can kill enemies before they even get a shot off.
Let me put some mileage on that and upsell it to a Centurion. Name your price.
Definitely used stuff like that before. There's a niche for it, just not this time. Swim? Yeah, no. It's
Easier than the shooting range.
nonsense.
I will sanctify it with my touch.
You'd be stranded out there if you didn't have a jetpack on your suit, which canonically their suits do have jetpacks, so it should just use that. Show what I was talking about. 3507 Forgeborn. No, 3538. Support
Is that
helps.
what I think it is?
If an ability can lead target
Now
itself.
I'm looking for this. Ha, more firepower.
Yep, that's not happening.
I will wear the shirt. First Lieutenant, here I come.
Never tried this before.
Time to put my training to the test. Gotcha. Next stop, sick bay, right?
There's one thing I wanted to try. Oh shoot. I don't have any, I was gonna try ghost missiles on this stupid thing and I forgot to make sure I had them before I entered the Nebula. None of these are gonna do anything for sure. Just gonna have to do this. Better than having it just shoot at me, I can't really hit it back.
I'm gonna be captain someday. I'm good. Now I know why the shirts are red.
Ooh.
Time to exceed expectations.
Where is my hat?
Yeah, this thing, it's hard. Very hard. So I want to take it out. So it's the ghost, and it's got armor pen. One thing I don't have to worry too much about is a zombie. Huh, it's got armor pen, but its bow is... yeah, they're all tough. Dangerous. Mundane. damage works poorly against the ghost. Better on the Spectre. That's new. When did I get an attack drone? Maybe this is supposed to be from all times of hard drove bees in previous fights, and I did nothing. Where's it for my ship defenses? It's physical mundane. It won't work well against the ghost, but fire. And light.
Ouch! Hope I make a good first impression.
I hate this part. Looking to unload some guns.
All right, it's my turn now.
That's not. Just getting in position.
Go, bust the rust. What rust?
Protecting Ricky's back against the Spectre if somehow survives. I ain't afraid of no ghosts.
It needs saving. Let me show you how to do some real damage.
Ghostbusters. Now, the Smithy, and the reason I keep him around is, besides being able to patch up summons, he has this animated plate which can guard party members. Then he can heal it, he can give it insane physical defense, or he can give a ton of power. He's a great support, really. I could have gotten other holographic companions, but he definitely gets the job done.
Good doesn't mean you don't die. Help me help you. May the white tree watch over you. Eternal dawn, light the way. Feel the light course through your mortal veins. Eternal dawn, light the way.
In case they try and go for the support directly.
I will wear the shirt.
More for
It's
the
an honor to
haste.
serve.
Do this to himself so he gets more chance of rolling things twice.
Zap, zap, zap!
That's one of his starting rifle type things.
This is what I trained for. Sure, I can feel my potential.
He is powered up doll hack.
YOLO!
You know what? Let's just finish him. That's dumb.
Blam!
An Ebon Blade. Is that a reference to Elder Scrolls?
Gotcha. The legend continues. Would it be possible if I could maybe have that?
No.
Is that what I think it is?
I do stop carrying that for a reason.
First Lieutenant, here I come. Would it be possible if I could maybe have that?
Could you clean this off for me, please? Let's honor the dead by putting their ear to
Is that what I think it is?
There is a rich lore to this item.
Seems to
Safe. Knowledge.
use that too much,
That's not bad,
James. And that's because the conditional on his Phoenix Feathers, he has to use 8 AP. So, there's a situation where he doesn't have enough abilities to use that in a turn. He has to wait several turns to revive people, maybe even. Yeah, Shizu is running out of APs. These are all, you can see trophies from campaign. I've been playing this game all the time, and this particular run's been on forever. Probably should have finished it. I could redo it with maybe retooling some of my abilities a little better. I'm not gonna. I was hoping to defeat the Sage. There's a trophy for that, but there's another one that I can't get this run, so I was gonna end up doing this campaign again later to get every molecule of Dural. that thing is dealt with. Anything that would order you in a menu is dangerous. Huh, an upgrade of the ghost rocket staff. Probably could have used that. Would normally do this if I wasn't about to fight the sage, and it's pretty cheap. I could go here and end up doing the final battle, but this video has been going for a while. I'm sure that many of you are tired if you're still watching, so I'm going to call it here. You'll have to look out for my next Popup Dungeon video where I fight the sage. That's not Mavenbolt, he's a sage, but there's another one, you'll see. In fact, Mavenbolt is a sage who will help me. I will see you all later. This is Northstar, wishing you the best. Until next time, good luck and good day.